Are too many judges putting people in jail? Or just putting them on probation without any real treatment? Or what's the problem with the system?
People aren't getting treatment. They aren't getting treatment. It'd be like, you know, you have your old, people are diagnosed with cancer. You give them chemo. We have a jail that sits, people go into jail. 80% of the people in jail have substance abuse problems. Where's the treatment at the jail? It'd be like having a hospital with cancer patients and no chemotherapy.
So how do you deal with all this? How do you deal with it?
One little problem at a time. That's all you can do. You know, just chip away at it. You just chip away at it.
It's not work for you, is it?
No, I wouldn't call it work.
It's
No.
a challenge?
It's a vocation. It's the ministry, as they say.
But if you weren't a judge, what would you do?
Open a treatment center, probably. Yeah. Help people that are kind of down and out. That's just, you know, that's just what would happen. I know it. I just know it, you know. I know the population. It's you just do it.
Coming up next, Charlie meets with a successful graduate of the drug court when Case Closed continues. Marsha Lynn is a recent graduate of Warren's drug court. Her motivation for graduation is a powerful message against the dangers of substance abuse. Here again is Charlie Langton.
How did you get addicted to drugs?
I started doing drugs when I was 13 years old.
13 years
yes, 13 years old.
How did you get involved at 13?
I had a very bad childhood. And then I just started hanging around with the wrong people.
When did you first get in legal trouble?
I did not get in legal trouble till I was in my late 30s. That's when all my trouble started, when I actually started drinking heavy and using crack heavy.
Where did you get the crack from?
I got my crack in Detroit. You could just ride up and down the street and, you know, they'd be out there standing out there, you know, what do you need? What do you want? You know, you can go and get it. It's not hard. Not hard at all.
How much is it?
Well, you can buy $10 rocks. That lasts probably about an hour.
What were you doing at your height of drug use?
There was a point when I was using where I had stayed up for 14 days using. Yes.
14 days?
14 days.
The crack can keep you up that long?
Yes. But then it starts making you hallucinate, you know, so it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
How did you get into the Warren Drug Court?
When I got arrested in September of '04, the police that go up and down 8 Mile, they knew they didn't see me a lot. So when they caught me, they said, "Why do you keep doing this?" And I said, "Because when I get a problem, I run to it. I don't have no other way to, deal with my problems." And so they told me about Warren Drug Court.
The police did?
Yes, the Warren police did. And then when I got to jail, people were talking about it. So I wrote a letter to Warren Drug Court asking them if I could be accepted into their program, because I want to quit, but I felt I needed a long-term program, because the short-term programs don't do nothing for you. Then finally, I got into counseling.
Through the Warren Drug Court?
Through the Warren Drug Court program, and it was fantastic. It was the best thing that could have happened to me in my life.
And what was it about the counseling at the Warren Drug Court that got you on the right road?
For the first time in my life, someone was listening to my problems.
Go back to the counseling at the drug court then. Tell me, what was it about the counseling that helped you?
Because I felt like someone finally cared, Someone finally cared about me. It was there for me, you know? That was the greatest feeling I could ever have in my life, you know? I mean, finally, you know, someone was helping me, which I wanted, you know? And that's the thing there. You have got to want it in order to do it. But it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
When you graduated from the Warren Drug Court,
I think it was the happiest day of my life. I really do. Just to see everything I accomplished and what I have now, you know, it's been 3 years, you know, and it's like I still got everything I had, because before I would lose everything, you know, lose everything. Then you have to start all over again, and then you end up using again, and it's a vicious circle. A vicious circle.
why do you think you did it? Why do you think you, out of all the problems in your life, you made it?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think you?
Why? Because I wanted to, and because I had a lot of support. And I think the good Lord up there was telling me something. I really do. And I am so proud of myself. But I'm still depressed because of my son. I don't know if that will ever go away, but it's not going to make me use drugs. No. Why would I go back to using drugs after being clean for 3 years and seeing my son die of an addiction?
Now, you were actually in the drug court, had been in the drug court for a year and a half or so. Did you, when you entered the drug court, which was back in about October of '04, was your son, was he doing drugs at that time?
Yes, he was.
Should he have been in the drug court?
Yes, he definitely should have been in drug court.
Did you see him when you went in the drug court? I mean, was he living with you and you had good contact with him?
No, he was not living with me. He did not want to live with me because, I think it was because I wasn't doing drugs and he was. And he knew if he came here, he wouldn't be able to do them. So, but he was trying to get off of himself, and actually he started out on Vicodin and Xanax. And when he got into Macomb County Court, they still let him do the Vicodin and the Xanax, which to me is not good, because heroin is an opiate along with Vicodin. And he was just getting a script for Vicodin to mask the heroin addiction. So in my opinion, when you're on probation, especially for a drug charge, you shouldn't be able to do no narcotics, even if they're prescribed to you, because there is other stuff that works, believe me.
Did you know that something bad was going to happen once he started using heroin?
I had a feeling, yes. I really did.
Do you remember the day you actually found out that he overdosed?
Yeah, it wasn't a good day.
What, do you remember it?
I just remember him telling me, David, what's the matter with you? You're not yourself. You're not yourself. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not like you used to be. And he's like, Mom, and I asked him, I said, what are you doing? And he said, Mom, I started doing heroin. And I'm like, Dave, why? Why? And so...
How long did he use before he passed away?
Well, the heroin, he was only on it for about 9 months before he passed away. He kept trying to get off it and then going back, trying to get off it and going back.
It's hard?
It's hard. It's hard. Any addiction's hard. But heroin is the worst.
When he did pass away, did that make you want to do drugs? Did it make you want to relapse?
No.
How did you feel when you...
I was sad. And I just wish to God that things could have been done differently with him, because he was a very smart boy. He was very happy till he started using the heroin. And it's a tragedy, actually. For these kids nowadays, it's bad.
Did that cause you to, did that do something different when you're in the drug court? I mean, when you brought the news to the judge and to the friends and to the counselors?
They were so supportive of me. They helped me in every way they could. They talked to me. I could call them anytime I wanted to. And the drug court, the people that work for drug court and Judge Gruenburg came to the funeral home. And that was just the nicest thing.
Do you feel guilty in a way?
Yeah, yes I do. I feel guilty because of my drug use, and I know that didn't help with him. I knew that once I got my head clean for about a year, and it was like, yes, I do feel guilty, and I feel guilty because he's not here today.
If he was here, what would you tell him?
David, I love you so much. Oh, you just don't know. It's a sad thing.
What do you say to people that are on drugs? What should those people know?
What should they do? They should seek help right away. They should try to get into a program like Warren Drug Court. For you kids that are out there using or even to get tempted to use, please don't do it. Don't. Nothing good comes out of it. Everything just gets worse and worse, worse and worse. And if you started, quit now, because your life is gonna be one big misery because you're on drugs. You're ruining your mind. You are ruining your body. Everybody's got a good brain in their head. There's not one person I don't know that doesn't have a good brain in your head. Use it. Use it. Don't use drugs.
It doesn't get much better said than that.
No.